Hey everybody, it's Frozen with Outdoor Adventures, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to take a first look at the LiteAF Curve 35 liter backpack. Now, before we get started on this, I'm going to give you some brief history on LiteAF as a cottage company. So they're a very small company. It's actually run by just one guy. His name is Chris, and he's from New Jersey. So everything is handmade in New Jersey, right here in the United States. Now, I got to meet Chris up at a Mohican State Park, Ohio meetup for the Ohio YouTubers. And it was just amazing meeting him. I got to see some of his products firsthand. So Chris specializes in Dyneema composite fabric accessories like tent stake bags, food bags, stuffed sacks, dry bags, all that kind of stuff. And he also makes custom backpacks. So I got to try some of these backpacks on and kind of see some of the features because he ended up bringing a couple of the models up with him to the meetup. So I got to try some of these on. I was just blown away by the quality and the comfort. And I was like, man, I really want to order one of these backpacks. Not now, but when I get back from the Appalachian Trail, because obviously I need to keep my budget expenses in mind. So a few back and forths with Chris and just kind of getting to know him as a person and a friend. He actually offered to send me a pack for free. So he's like, hey, just use this on a section hike of the AT, whatever. I had every intention on purchasing one of these Curve 35 liter models right after I got back from the AT. Now, this is a frameless backpack. So a brief background on where I'm coming from, and then we'll get into it, I promise. I'm coming from way back in the day in Osprey Exos. It's a backpack with a frame, it has a mesh back panel, really comfortable. Moved up to the Arc Haul, better materials, lighter, pack with a frame, mesh back panel, very comfortable. Z-Packs ended up sending me my first frameless backpack called the Z-Packs Nero. And I just, for whatever reason, just find it incredibly comfortable, and it's extremely lightweight. It was something like, I think the whole thing was like 14 ounces, with all the stuff that I added to it, including hip belt pockets, which added a great deal of weight right there. Well, I've just completely switched to the Nero on all my 3-season backpacking trips, and I don't really even use the Arc Haul anymore. Now, for those that bought the Arc Haul based on my review of it, because it is a fantastic pack, I probably still will end up using that pack on longer carries, especially during colder weather. But the point I'm trying to make is, I was so worried about going to a frameless pack, and I just said, no, it won't work for me. But when I had the chance to try a frameless pack, it's just amazing. So in comes the Curve 35 from LiteAF. Initial test, loaded this thing up with 20 pounds, walked around the house for a little bit. Haven't been out on a trip, so that's why it's the first looks. I don't like to give reviews on products that I haven't tried, but all initial tests, this thing's amazing, and I'm really, really excited to try it out. You can build this pack completely custom to fit whatever need that you want it to fill. So if you need a bigger pack, they have a 40-liter model. If you want a smaller pack, they also have a 30-liter model. I chose right in the middle, 35 liters, because it was about 10 liters more than the Nero, and I think that's going to be completely fine for me. One thing that may be a little surprising is I chose not to get a real hip belt. I just instead opted to get these removable hip belts, and it's just standard 1-inch webbing with a buckle. So I can use the hip belt on longer carries, and my thought process behind that was, with the Nero, my base weight is so low, or so comfortable, I should say, not low, because I don't really care what people's base weight is, but it was so comfortable that I found myself never really tightening down my hip belt. It was always just loose, and everything was really mostly riding on my shoulders. So I opted just to get the 1-inch webbing hip belt. Now, because I did that, I could not get hip belt pockets, so I chose a couple things to fill in the gaps for my organization. The first two things I chose were some mesh shoulder strap pockets. So you can add these if you like. They do add a little bit of weight, not very much. And I'm able to, just to give you an idea, I would never put my smart water bottle in here, but it definitely holds quite a bit. So I'm gonna throw my phone in here, some camera gear, and whatever else I decide to do, also including snacks if I need to. The second thing I got to bridge the gap with the hip belt pockets was a bottom pocket made of Lycra. Very, very high quality, stretchy mesh. I think they make like Dirty Girl gaiters and stuff out of this, but it's a heavier fabric. So I can easily just put a ton of stuff here. And actually, I have my Costco down quilt, so we'll just start shoving that in there. So you can see that quilt just got gobbled up by that bottom pocket. So it should be plenty fine for anything that I need to do as far as camera gear or snacks. So the rest of the pack is pretty much standard. We have a roll top with a buckle latch system on the top for if you want to carry extra water or just want to keep your gear all together and compressed down. So in a couple minutes we'll lay this down on the table and get you a better look at it. But the top, it's a roll top enclosure. It has 2 snaps to keep everything shut. Just roll it down and you can then clip the pack up, and there is a compression strap on the top so you can tighten everything down. On the back of the pack we have a huge mesh back panel, and we'll go back to the Costco quilt and I'll show you just how big this thing is because it's pretty darn amazing. I'm going to shove it all the way down just to kind of give you an idea how far that can stretch out. So that is amazing. It's going to hold any type of gear that I throw in here, and it's just going to keep everything in place and not moving around. So that's perfect. On the sides of the pack, 2 water bottle pockets, and behind that we have this very nice compression system that really locks this pack down. Really impressed by it. Works out perfect. One of the greatest features I noticed right away about the pack were the comfort of the shoulder straps. So if you're familiar with any of the Z-Pack shoulder straps on the Arc Hall or the Nero or the Blast, I'd say these are about 1.5 times thicker and maybe a little bit more comfortable than that. We'll have to see how it goes. Like I said, this is just a first looks video. All the way down, you do have daisy chain webbing. They're spaced about 2 fingers apart, so a little bit farther apart than anything that Z-Packs makes, but this is a great system, and I really didn't use all that length. You can take the sternum strap off and move it up and down wherever you see fit, and it just works out really well. I was even able to use one of the daisy chain loops to add my trekking pole holster back to it with the removable strap. So I just attached a piece of shock cord to the removable hip belt and another piece to the bottom of the daisy chain of the shoulder strap, and it works out really well. So let's get it on. I'll show you the feel, and of course I got it in blue. All right, picking up the pack, just want to show that it does have a carry strap. Now this is a little different than any carry strap that I've been used to. I don't love it, I don't hate it. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm kind of used to the shoulder strap that goes this way on the pack, so kind of just like like this curved, but this one actually comes up straight from the back of the pack, so it's pretty comfortable just to hold. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can do it. It is more comfortable to actually put it on like you're supposed to, so I will give it that. In my opinion, most shoulder straps, they kind of go back farther. Okay, with these ones, they're cut in such a way where they come down your shoulders, go over your chest like they're supposed to. It's held together with the sternum strap, and then they kind of wrap around and almost hug the sides of your body. And I've never felt anything like this, and I really love it already. Going to the side, you can easily get water bottles out and back in, both sides, not an issue. As far as the bottom pocket, I can easily reach back, grab something, and put it back in fast, whether it be garbage or food or whatever. And just all I'll do is 360, and we'll just take a look at it. The comfort is amazing. I've had about 21 pounds in here, just kind of walking around the house. Haven't really taken it on a trip yet. Hope to do that very soon here. But all initial tests are great. So let's take it down to the table and we'll take a look at inside and show you a little up-close view of the pack. All right, got the pack all laid out. We'll talk about the bottom pocket. It is open on one side only. It's not open on the other side. So if you shove something in there, you don't have to worry about it coming out the other side, which is great. Drainage holes for the water bottle pocket. So you can see my finger poking out of there. It's just a little triangle drainage design. It's going to work out great. Absolutely no water is going to pull in your water bottle pockets. Stretchy mesh, fantastic. It's going to be awesome. I think it's a little bit bigger than something like the Z-Pack's Arc Hall, and I think it's a little stretchier as well. As far as the capacity of the side pockets, LiteAF does make them a little bit bigger than everybody else, which I like. I can easily fit 2 1-liter bottles in there if I wanted to, and I still have some extra room. I could probably fit a little fuel canister in there with it. I don't know if you'd need that much space, but it definitely works out really well. And then the side compression system for that is really, really nice as well. Nothing's really going to fall out of there unless you lean completely over. Inside the pack, we can see that every seam has been tape sealed with Cuban fiber tape, and it appears that the entire bottom part of the pack is tape sealed the whole way. So not just the seams, but the actual entire bottom of the pack, which is great because that's more than likely where the water would seep into the seams. You can see the start of the roll top right here and the snaps and the way it shuts. The way it shuts is, I think, great. I actually was a little worried sometimes with having Velcro on here because I feel like it would just start to abrase quilts or sleeping bags over time. Never had an issue, but I think this is a better peace of mind for me. Now the internal capacity, like I said, is 35 liters. That does not include any of the pockets or extras that I got. So this is bigger than a 35 liter, and you can see that it is definitely true to form. It is huge. This thing goes up really high, and you can kind of see the curve going on here as well with your back. Here you can see a daisy chain. There's a big one at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on each side. Sternum strap, like I said, can be moved up and down as you see fit. It came stock right here, and it's just perfect for me. So I told you that this hip belt was removable, and the way we do that is they're just clipped right here. They're clipped into this little loop that they put at the bottom of the pack. So we just unclip that. The clip is very, very solid, very, very secure. And we open it up a little bit and we can slide that out if we're careful. Okay, so that's how the hip belt comes off. So you can see that clip there. And to get it back on, we just put it back through and then it clips in. And like I said, it's really, really strong, really, really solid. What I'm really, really happy about is this is the lightest pack I own. It's even lighter than the Nero. The shipment notification came in at 13.1 ounces. That's straight from Chris's basement weighing this thing. So I haven't had a chance to verify that yet. I'm sure it's pretty spot on though, maybe give or take a couple grams, but 13.1 ounces for everything minus the removable hip belt. That's amazing. Like I said, LiteAF makes a whole bunch of DCF, then even composite fabric accessories. If you need anything, check them out over at LiteAF.com or order a custom backpack. So as far as taking this out on my thru hike in February, I'm not sure. I need to take it out on a couple trips because what I don't want to happen is if something doesn't quite work with the pack and it makes me feel uncomfortable or some feature that is missing that I have on the Arc Haul. Now, I'm going to be taking this out on a couple trips very, very soon here. Just waiting on this stupid ankle injury that I re-injured last trip. But as soon as that's healed up, give it another week to make sure it's fully rested, then I am back out there with this pack the rest of the winter until I leave. And then we will make the decision on whether this bad boy is coming with me at the beginning or sometime when it warms up on the Appalachian Trail. So thanks guys for watching. 13.1 ounces, that's crazy. I'm Frozen with Outdoor Adventures. Find time to go on your own adventure. I'll see you on the trail.